Hello, I'm Lisa from Willow Bushcraft, and today we're going to make a Christmas wreath. All the materials are from this lovely woodland, Marchwood near Ashford. So I've been busy walking around the woodland and collecting some of the materials. I've harvested some hazelwood, which is we've got quite a bit of here at Marchwood. You can also use dogwood or the traditional willow. What you tend to do is get the thin bendy bits. You take all the leaves off, and what you want to do is to be able to make a nice hoop like this. You'd need about 5 stems of wood to twist round. Best time to do this really is in the springtime when the sap is rising, but you can do it during the autumn winter time as well. It's just a little bit harder. So I also have some hemlock here and some spruce. They're very similar, but when you get up close, you can see the difference. The needles are flatter on this one, and on the spruce they're thinner and a little bit more spiky. I have also got an evergreen oak, which is home oak, which is quite nice and a little bit different. I have also got some holly. I have some ivy, because ivy is lovely, different textures there. Some teasel, the traditional pine cones. Also on the holly, we don't have any berries. Berries are harmful to humans and pets, so we tend to go for the hawthorn berries and the rose hips to give it the extra colour. When you are collecting materials, go for the evergreen if possible, but have a look to see what you are cutting. You don't want to take anything that might be poisonous and harmful to yourself or your pets. One of those things is laurel. It contains cyanide and it's quite harmful to everybody, really. Some of the tools that you may need are loppers. These will be used for cutting the hazel. It can be quite hard to cut with just secateurs. Secateurs will be used to remove all the side branches. We've got scissors to be cutting the garden twine. We have florist wire and wire cutters. Okay, so the first thing I usually do once I've made the ring is to actually use some twine. What I do is just make a knot so you've got a nice loop, and then you just thread it through, and there you go. You've already got your hoop attached to your wreath. It's easier to do it at the beginning because you'll have all the greenery at the end. It becomes a bit fiddly, so I always do it at the beginning. Okay, so we're going to use the wire and we're going to keep it on the reel. We're going to attach it to the top. I tend to poke it through, tie it off this end. We try to keep all the knots at the back, but it doesn't matter if you don't manage that, because it often gets hidden anyway by the foliage. So the hemlock and the spruce is very good for being at the back. I'm going to use the other evergreen and alternate the other evergreen, but the conifers and the pines and that sort of thing will stay at the back. So you're going to use your secateurs. Just, take your time, choose which bits you want to use. I'm going to place it on there, and then I'm going to wrap the bottom part of the trio round a couple of times just to keep it into place. Try and wrap it nice and tight. And as you will see, I'm trying to get the majority more like a fan shape coming out the outside. Otherwise you'll have it all in the middle and you won't be able to actually see that it's a hoop. You always have a little fiddle with it, get the leaves where you want it to be, and then you grab your next lot. But as you can see, I'm making sure that everything, I'm covering the hoop, but it's all coming outwards and not going in. You do that just to make sure that you've got it all tucked in. And you don't have to follow a pattern. It can be random. And you don't have to fill the whole hoop. Some people like it partly covered. So when you come to the end of the ring, you've got to make sure the last one is tucked under the first one. So you've got continuous amount. You don't want any bare hoop. And then make sure you wrap it around really tightly. You probably need to do a couple of extra loops to make sure it's all nice and secure. Then you need to cut a bit off the wire. We'll need that in a minute. The next stage is you turn it over, and this wire, you need to wrap it between the rings. This bit's a bit fiddly. And then what you're going to do, once you've made a little hoop with the wire, you pull the wire through and make a knot to tie it off. So the next stage, so I'm just going to get a couple of different bits and pieces to show you how to attach them to the wreath. You can put as much or as little as you want to put on. This is your own personal choice. With the pine cones, often you find them on the woodland floor and they're not open. So if you take them indoors, let them dry out, you'll find that they'll all open up, and then you can get the wire around the bottom. So wrap the wire around, as you go back on itself. And again, you tie it onto the wreath, turn it round, and then I'm just going to tie it on. There you go. Good thing about your Christmas wreath, on Christmas Day you can take it off your front door, and you can put it around a candle and have it as a table decoration for your Christmas dinner. The other thing you can do, if you really want to get the kids involved, you can use dried orange slices. You can put ribbons, different kind of Christmas themed ribbons, making some bows. Children often like doing that. And the other thing you can also do is add some snow spray. Personally, I like to keep it natural, but it's up to you what you do with your wreath. One thing I'd like to add is that when you are foraging for your materials for your wreath, just bear in mind what the wildlife will need. The ivy here wraps it tightly around the trees. Bats and birds like to nest in there, hide away, especially during the winter time. The berries, obviously, that the birds like to eat and need them through the winter. So just be thoughtful of the wildlife around us.